suppose it's been a while since I've done a poll video, but with all the reshuffling and stuff, there hasn't been that much time to really worry about it. But since I got most of the grinding really done in Lunar Dragonstone at this point, at least the major grinding, I think I can afford to open up another slot on Revisit Fridays right now to cover some other DS game or some other options, though for the most part it's just going to be DS titles I'm offering to go back and revisit to fix the stretching issues on the video, because I basically widescreened all the old DS games, so they look a bit, well, awful, let's be honest. But I will put up Digimon World 3, because I didn't finish my original run for this game. Mostly because my old computer crapped out while I was in the middle of this run, so I lost about 70 hours worth of data since I'd been using an emulator on my computer to capture footage for the game. Because my Hop doesn't capture in 240p, and basically starts to drop frames and stuff like crazy, which is why I can't do a lot of Nippon Ichi software games, because they're actually in 240p and require the TV to basically convert it into 480. So basically I can't really play those games without having an emulator on my computer to use the disc for. Unfortunately, I've never been able to figure out how to set up a PS2 emulator, and I'm too lazy to go bug my brother to let me borrow his computer for hours at a time. Actually, I don't think he'd let me do that. I guess I always ask for his expertise on how to set one up, maybe. But I don't know if he'd really care to help me with that either. Well, that's the only DS game I have on offer. I'll also offer to go back and revisit Dungeon Dice Monsters for Yu-Gi-Oh! My original run I actually did complete, but for a lot of it I was sick, so I was coughing and sounding like I was going to hack up a lung during most of the run. The downside, though, is if maybe you're going back and revisiting that game, is there just isn't that much strategy in the Dungeon Dice Monsters. You'll basically use the same strategies and techniques throughout the entire game, which is largely to rush on the field with low-level monsters and try to pin down your opponent and hit them before they have a chance to really get anything out on the field. It's really not a game that requires a lot of thought or technique to it, and it can be somewhat boring to watch, I'd imagine. Even if you don't have to deal with me, it'll sound like I'm trying to hack up my lungs, as I said. Now we'll move into the DS titles. I'll offer up revisiting Bleach the Third Phantom. Mostly because I stretched the footage, like I said, with these older DS games, Let's Plays I did. But the only real major downside I can think of to doing Bleach the Third Phantom is basically that I'll probably overgrind my way through the game. Basically just power leveling my way through stuff rather easily. So unless you're going to be dragged into the story, you're probably not going to have that much fun watching me crush my enemies, unless you take amusement out of watching someone basically run up to bosses and like one-shot them. Like they're a complete another pushover. I mean, I guess there is some amusement to be had on that score. I'll also offer to go back and visit Witches and Vampires, The Secrets of Ashbury, and Vampire Legends, The Power of Three simultaneously. These games really aren't that difficult, nor do they require that much time intensity when it comes to grinding, in my opinion. At least not as much as Bleach the Third Phantom is going to require me to do if I want to be able to get my characters up to the levels I want them at for some of the battles. About the only real appeal I can offer for these is that, well, these games were advertised by a company called that had a slogan for them as "Just for Girls." So I guess if you want to see what an RPG looks like that's meant to appeal to the female demographic, you might be interested in these. Otherwise, they're not the greatest of stories, in my opinion. Basically, just your standard save the world stuff with witches, vampires, and a goth. I'll also offer to go back and visit Kurosaga Leviathan Tactics, a tactical RPG on the DS that wishes it was Fire Emblem, but just isn't that good, to be honest. It probably is a bit better balanced somewhat than Bleach the Third Phantom is, but not by much. Especially since if you have certain characters, this game can be a bit of a cakewalk when it comes to crushing a lot of your enemies. Not as bad as Bleach the Third Phantom, though, but still relatively easy if you know what you're doing. I'll also offer to go back and visit Lost Magic, a game that sort of feels like a cross between Pokemon and RTS, I guess, the way the combat system works, because you have to catch and use monsters to effectively advance. And there's only certain monsters that are really any good, sort of like how Pokemon is, right? Only certain monsters you ever find are really worthwhile to catch. I'll also offer to revisit Magical Star Sign, a game that gives me mixed feelings, to be honest. I'm not sure why it's rated E, considering some of the story content that's in there, like how the robots turned an entire civilization into crystallized gummies, or then use them as power supplies. You'd think something like genocide would get the game rated T on principle alone, or maybe they're just hoping it sort of just flies over the minds of all the little kids that might play the game, or they just never got that far in the game during testing, or they just didn't care. I don't know. It's always a bit surprised me that this game has a everyone rating when it has content you think would be rated T for teen, just because the kind of thoughts it puts in your head with the whole genocide and stuff. And that's it. I don't have anything else I want to offer up at the moment for polling purposes. I'm hoping if I keep it smaller, the votes will be a bit more focused. So you can vote for as many titles as you want, and I'll just take the one that has the most votes at the end of the poll, which is only going to run until next Thursday, since I'm going to be starting this on Friday, which will be, what, the 10th. So yes, you have until the 9th to cast your votes. Until next time then, see ya.